Let's record. Hey, everybody. I look gorgeous because I just finished my workout. Started Transform 20 again this week. I know so many of you are finishing up your Fix Extreme and then your Battle of Fix and 80-Day Obsession workout today. So congratulations to everyone that went through real time with Autumn. It was absolutely amazing. Remember that the sale on the 21-Day Fix, Ultimate Portion Fix real time packs are still going on. And today is the launch of Vegan Recover. I know this has been a long time in the works. I know that so many of us drinking vegan Shakeology right now. It makes sense. I drink Vegan Recover, right? So make sure when that goes live, which really was it? I think it was, I don't know, maybe is it now? I'm not even sure when it goes live, but it's sometime today we're going to have Vegan Recover go live. Just to kind of recap what's going on, if you are going to Summit, make sure that you are in the Diesel Nation Summit page. The link for our luncheon is live. We've sold a ton of tickets already. I expect to sell out in the next couple of weeks. We have 350 spots available for our luncheon, which I know is crazy. That's a lot of people, but I think we're going to have more people attend Summit this year than ever before. I know Beachbody is expecting the biggest summit in the history of the network, which is phenomenal. It's like, wow, like from where we were 2 years ago to today is just absolutely crazy. So you want to make sure that you get that luncheon ticket because it is truly the best part of Summit. I know it is for me to be able to be in the same room as the whole team at once is something special, because then once Summit starts, it's like chaotic for most of us. Everybody's running around, everybody's trying to soak in. Okay, it's not live yet. I know it's sometime this afternoon. I know it wasn't first thing this morning, but thanks, Rolly. And that's talking about Vegan Recover. I had asked him to see if he could figure out when that happened. But you want to get to Summit and you want to get to our Summit luncheon. I did also note, and I'm going to make this real quick because I know Brad has a lot to cover for us today, which I'm so excited about, but I needed to cover this today. There are a lot of pre-summit events going on, right? You have Ignite, you have the Power of I Am, you have Melanie Mitro's event, and for a long time we used to say, oh, go to wherever I'm speaking. No, I'm not that person. I don't need my team cheering me on when my team might need something else. So if you want to go to the Power of I Am, if you want to go to Ignite, that's great. If you want to go to Mel and Moira's event, great. If you don't want to do a pre-summit event because you're going to be having mimosas with your team, great too. Do what you want to do. Just make sure that at noon you're at our luncheon. So all of those events are going to coincide with our luncheon. So you want to make sure that you leave in time. I'm speaking very early at Ignite so I could pack up and run to the luncheon. That's Summit. Summit is absolutely crazy. All right, you guys. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to my good friend, Brad Bizjack. If you guys have been Beachbody coaches for a long time, you know that Brad was one of my partners in the original 21-Day Fix test group. Since that time, he has become a life coach and a mindset master. He is absolutely awesome to follow on social media. He's such a positive light, and he's created a course, and today he's going to talk to us all about mindset, which is very much needed at this time. Everyone's like, why am I in a funk? Because it happens every May. Like if you've been in the business as long as I have, you know that January, February, March, you're like this, and you're just going. And then all of a sudden it's like, I'm really tired. And that's the time we're in right now. We're in the I'm really tired time of our business. And that's why we need things like this. We need Brad Bizjack right now to get us fired up, to get our mindsets right, because we have the summer coming. Summer is coming, not winter anymore. Game of Thrones is over. All of you need to move on with your lives. I have moved on with my life. Get over it. It ended the way it ended. Eric, I'm not going to mess it up for you. But let's get ready for summer and summit, because summer and summit is coming. All right, Brad, without further ado, turning it over to you.
What is going on, everyone? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Is that coming through? Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for the privilege of being here today and speaking with you guys. I want you to know that I do not take this opportunity for granted. I don't take it lightly, and it's my promise to you that over this next hour, I am not going to betray your trust. This is going to be so much above and beyond value to help you master this thing, your noggin. the thing that makes you either succeed to the highest levels or holds you back when you know that you're meant for more. And that's what today is all about. So before we get started, take your phones, turn them off. If you got to take a picture for Instagram stories, take it now and post it later. Whatever you got to do, put the kids in a closet, whatever it takes, just be fully present here, and I promise it will be valuable. So let's start with some participation. What is a really big goal that you have for 2019? What's a really, really big goal that's been weighing on your mind that you want to achieve? It can be in your business, it can be any part of your life, but this is a business call, so let's just keep it rank the F up. I love it, Erica. Fantastic. Keep these coming. What else do we got? What other huge goals do we have for 2019? 10 new diamonds. Freaking love it. What else, guys? Type them in there. And as you're typing these goals in, there's something so cool about these goals. There's a recipe to make it happen. There's a way you can do it. People have gone before you to achieve these things, means you can role model their behavior and create the same results. But here's the thing. You can have the best recipe in the world, but it's how you use your ingredients in that recipe that matters. So what does that mean? It means that you could have what you think is a massive goal, but if your mindset's off, you're gonna have a goal based out of fear instead of a goal based out of who you want to become. You could invite 1 billion people to your challenge group, to coaching, but if your mindset's off, you're going to repel them. I did this for a very long time, and we're gonna talk about that in a little bit. You could have the best training for your team in the world, but if your mindset's off, they're not gonna do anything. In fact, how many of you have ever felt like things have been kind of forced? Like you wish it would just seem like it was a little bit easier and you don't know what's holding you back. I'm gonna show you why that is today. All these things, what goes on in your mind, your mindset, your self-talk is by far and above the most important piece of all of this. And you've heard that before, right? How many of you guys, type yes if you've ever heard the cliche, change your thinking, change your life? How many of you guys have ever heard that? Well, how the hell do you do it? That's what I am here to talk to you about today. How to change your thinking when things are not going well. When you're in a place in your business when maybe you want success, but it's not coming to you as fast as you would like. When people are returning, or you're returning product, or you're getting coaches that quit, or going to different MLM businesses, or whatever it is. Or you get past the early year rush and now you're in May and you're like, oh my God, what do I do? We're gonna figure out how to bust through that negative self-talk and that mindset limitation so fast, so it doesn't take you a couple weeks to get you back up and running. It takes you a couple of minutes to get you back up and running. And that's what we're gonna talk about today. So where does negative self-talk come from? Where do limiting beliefs come from? Where do these things come from? They come from reference points in our past. Things we've gone through, like exactly, Christina, our past, like failures from the past, trauma from the past, different things that we went through that were our insecurities from the past. And we know that, but what we're gonna do today, and what I'm gonna start this with, is sharing a story with you of just what I've gone through and some of the things in my life, and show you how I turned it around for a tool for success and happiness. And then we're going to apply it to your business and to your life so you can have specific actionable takeaways for your life. So I have a reason for sharing this story. And growing up, I had an emotional roller coaster of a childhood. It gave me some really messed up beliefs about how life is. And I'm curious, how many of you can relate to the topic of money stress at any point in your life, whether past or present? Type yes if that's you. Can you relate to the topic of money stress? Okay, me too. I remember growing up, my parents would scream and fight and yell about money like every single day. And that's not hyperbole for this call. It was every day. Screaming matches. Some form of, we can't afford it. Some form of, why did you spend that much money? And it totally messed with how I thought about money. I remember one time I was a little kid and my parents were having another fight about why the bank account was being overdrawn. And I remember going up to my mom, I was probably like 10 years old. And I remember being like, Mommy, why do you guys always have to fight about stupid money? And in that moment, excuse my language ahead of time, it's just for the effect of the call, she told me, like, shut the fuck up and go to your room. I don't need you around me right now. And in that moment, my dad comes over with a soap dispenser and starts pouring soap all over my mom, on her head, down her neck, on her back. And I remember thinking, holy cow, did money cause this? Is it because of money that my parents are fighting? And ever since that memory, until I learned how to reverse it, I believed money was bad. Then I saw my dad working 90, 100 hours a week, barely getting by. I thought money was something that you had to work your butt off to never have. And I believed it tore relationships apart. It took me so long to propose to my wife, Janice, because I thought that if we got married and had money, it would rip us apart. And so my reason for bringing that story up is because you can imagine, like, for those of you guys that don't know, like, actually, Christina talked about this. I was a Beachbody coach for 5 years. I love everything about Beachbody, everything. It led me to what I'm truly meant to do with my life, which is help people master this. And if it wasn't a conflict of interest, I'd be doing it, right? But it's a conflict of interest and I can't do both, but this is what I'm meant to do. And the reason I share that with you is because you can imagine when I wanted to build my Beachbody business, I wanted the 5-star, I wanted the 10-star, I wanted the elites, I wanted all these things. And I wanted to create massive impact and financial freedom for my family. But money is bad. Do you see how that might screw me up a little bit? Inner conflict, where I want to sprint 100 miles an hour in one direction with chains around my ankles. And on top of the money, I had a really tough relationship with my mom. And I love my mom. I've forgiven her for all the pain in my past. Totally different topic that I can talk about at a different time if you guys would like. But getting to that point took me a long time because I was very angry and I was very sad. Because I never knew which version of her I was going to get. I never knew if I was going to get the version where she's happy to see me. I never knew if I was going to get the version where she was, screaming at me, telling me to go away, or the version where it was just, basically, I just didn't know who I had to be to deserve my mom's love. My entire childhood, and it really messed with me. I grew up craving validation, never feeling like I was enough. In fact, your leader, Christina Delgado, is the person that sent me on my trajectory of figuring that out and how to beat it. Because I remember one time, I forgot what it was a few years ago, but I remember she said, and this is, so Christina, right? Rock star, super successful. And I'm this little mini coach just starting out. And I remember, I desperately craved validation. And she said to me one time, so since when did you get too cool for us? And it changed my entire life. I am where I am now because of this incredible woman right here. She doesn't know this, but it sent me on a trajectory to figure out what screwed with me, why I was held back by seeking validation and trying to put my name out there and be seen and known. It's because I never felt like I was enough, and it stemmed from way back when. And so you can imagine that when I wanted to create massive impact and help all these people and change their lives, that's great, but I'm not enough. It's that same thing, wanting to sprint 100 miles an hour in one direction with chains around my ankles. And it was really tough. I remember just feeling like I was meant for so much more, but I didn't know why I was so stuck. And it was like that for years. I remember one day my bank account overdrafted another time. And something just clicked within me. And I was like, you know what? Enough is enough. I'm sick of living in mediocrity. And I went on a journey of changing my life. And I figured out what was going on. And it was so much simpler than I thought. But when I started my business 7 years ago, it didn't matter how many, crying, nice, Becky. I'm glad this is going to be impactful. It didn't matter how many team calls I signed up to speak on. It didn't matter how much amazing content I put out there. It didn't matter, just any invites that I sent out. I always just felt stuck, and I just felt less than I could be. And so the reason I tell you this is because when I tried to build a business, the overwhelming amount of negative self-talk and the lack of belief and the secret obstacles that I didn't even realize were happening up here stopped me from seeing the success that I thought I deserved. And I created a system to overcome that. We don't have time to go through that in 1 hour. But if you take this really seriously, you're going to learn 3 of the major steps that I took to exploding my life and breaking through those limitations and finally believing that I was enough. So number 1, write this down. Your thoughts are always the reason. Your thoughts are always the reason. The first thing you can do is change the way you think. Cliche, right? But how do you do that? That's what I'm going to teach you. I'm talking about rewiring your mind to actually believe in yourself. So let's backtrack. You start to tell yourself stories, right? Money is bad. Building a team is hard. My teammates won't do anything. It's so much easier for Christina. She's a 15 million time elite coach. I'm not enough. And if you say that crap enough times, what happens? You believe it. Write this down. Whatever you repeat to yourself consistently, you will believe whether it's bullshit or not. Write that in your notes. Whatever you repeat to yourself consistently, you will believe, whether it's bullshit or not. How many of you guys have ever been at a party with your friends over the years? And to sound cooler than you really are, you exaggerate a story so you get more laughs and more attention. I used to do this with my buddies all the time. And I remember you get more laughs, more attention. And so the next time you come back and you get together with them, you say that story with more conviction, more belief. And they're laughing about it, they're joking about it. You do it again the next time you're together. Then you find yourself 5 years into the future sharing this story when you're with your friends. Yeah, exactly, Becky. Like sharing the story when you're with your friends. And you don't even know what part of that story is BS or not. You have no idea, but you believe it's true because you've shared it so many times. Well, the same thing happens with negative self-talk. Only instead of it being a fun party topic, it will sabotage your whole life. This is your default software. This is what most of us start off our success journey with. And you go through life believing this because you repeat this crap to yourself. I'm not enough, whatever it is, so many times. It creates inner conflict. It changes the way you lead your life and your business. Type yes if you ever feel like you're forcing your business. It comes from your belief. It comes from your belief where you have to find all the willpower to push instead of that internal pull. That's what we're going to rip out right now. So to change this, you have to believe that you're enough before the evidence of your business will ever say that you're enough. It's so important that you understand that. And so you can start to believe this by changing your questions. Your entire life will change if you change your questions. Better questions will eliminate negative self-talk. Better questions will explode your life. If you've ever faced a point in your life where you're trying to convince yourself that you're good enough or that you deserve something great, but you don't actually believe you can do it, there's a reason. Like how many of you have done a vision board or a goal setting exercise and you write the 6-figure income, you write the debt free, you write the nice car, the whatever it is, and you write these goals down or you put them on your vision board and you're going, that would be amazing. It would change my entire life. Everything would be different if I achieved that goal. But there's that little voice back here, that little voice that goes, you're never gonna do that, right? It's like you already know you're gonna fail before you try. You know what I'm talking about, or am I crazy, right? You can barely hear that little devil on your shoulder just whispering doubt and insignificance into your subconscious mind. Well, we have to change that thinking. And we can't do it all in an hour, but here is a start. So what is thinking? Thinking is nothing more than the process of asking yourself a question. That is all thinking is. So think about what you just did. You go, is that actually right? You thought about thinking. That's what you were doing. So if you focus on asking yourself bad questions, you get really bad answers. An example of that would be, why don't I know enough people? An example of that would be, why am I so fat? Well, why aren't I pretty enough, right? Or whatever it is. Those would be bad questions. And you get really bad responses. But if you ask yourself great questions, you get great answers. An example of that would be, why am I worthy? Why can't I do this? The mistake I made is I thought I just had to hit Success Club. And yes, you do. Yes, you do. That's your benchmark for your business to grow. But there comes a point when even if you're hitting Success Club, nothing's happening. There's a reason. It's inner conflict. It's in here. It's 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, and you wonder what's going on. Or how many of you guys have tried to hit it and missed it, consistently hit it, nothing's happening, or even have success and feel empty inside? There is a reason. That's what we're going to talk about. So let me backtrack a little more to show you what I mean. Look around the room you're in right now and count the number of things you can find that are red. Ready to go. Count the number of things that are red. Look for red, look for red, look for red, look for red, look for red. Count the things that are red, look for red, look for red. Look for red, 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 look for red. Keep looking for red, look for red, look for red, look for red, look for red. Hold up your hands or type in the chat box. How many things did you find that were red? We got 7 from Brittany. We got 14, 2, 5, 3, 9. Awesome. That's great. But question, how many things did you find that were blue? No idea. Why? Because you weren't looking for it. But check this out. Look around the room you're in right now and count all that Beachbody blue you can see. Ready, go. Look for blue, look for blue, look for blue, look for blue, look for blue. Holy cow, there's so much blue. Look for blue, look for blue, look for blue. It's everywhere. Look for blue, look for blue, look for blue. Look for blue, 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 look for blue. Keep looking for blue. Oh my gosh, you guys are laughing. Keep looking for blue, look for blue, look for blue. Hold up your hands or type in the chat box. How many more things did you find that were blue? 24. Holy crap. 5 million, 20 plus, cool. Oh my gosh, 15, that's amazing. How many of you guys even saw green and pretended it was blue just so you would feel successful? I know some of you guys did that. So what does this prove? When you look for red, what do you not see? You don't see blue. And when you look for blue, what do you not see? You don't see red. Well, if red is what you don't want, what will you never find? Your dreams. And if blue is what you truly want, your dreams, you're not going to notice all that negative crap in your mind. So when you focus on what you don't want, that's doubt, that's skepticism, that's pain. Those are the thoughts of, why can't I do this? Why is it so much easier for other people? That's red. And those thoughts will grow in your mind like weeds. This is why Jim Rohn has an amazing quote that says, stand guard at the gates of your mind or weeds will grow automatically. What does that mean? That means that unless you condition your mind to find blue, it will automatically find red. Why? Because your brain doesn't give a shit if you're happy or sad. Your brain doesn't care if you're successful. Your brain's primary job is to make sure you survive. That's what your brain is doing. So at any moment in time, it's looking for what to protect you from. It's looking for what could go wrong. So when you think about hitting elite in your first year, your brain goes, whoa, 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 let's be more realistic. Let's just hit emerald or diamond instead. And you don't go for the big dream, you try to be more realistic. Well, guys, realism is the fastest traveled road to mediocrity. That's how you stay stuck. Because if you have an optimist and a realist, and that optimist goes after a big goal and that realist says it's not possible, the realist is going to set a lesser goal and they're going to hit it, right? They're not going to live a shitty life. They're going to live a mediocre life. The realist is going to hit their goal and the optimist is going to fail the first, second, third time. But here's the thing about optimism. They try again and they try again and they try again. And eventually they get to where they want to go. And even if they miss that goal, they are so much further ahead than they ever would have been before if they set a realistic, safe goal that's based out of fear. So in the beginning, the realist was right, but optimism always wins. So why does your brain not want you to be happy? Why does it try to protect you from pain? Well, millions of years ago, you weren't worried about sending an invite to your coaching business on Facebook. You were worried about the saber-toothed tiger hiding in the bushes that was going to eat your baby. That's what you were worried about. You were worried about how you were going to eat, how you were going to survive and live. And we haven't evolved. So now we're in this place right now where we equate the same amount of fear to posting a vulnerable story on social media as we did to a tiger attack. It doesn't make sense, right? So let's do an example in your business to show you what I mean. Ask yourself this right now. Why am I not enough to build this business? Just try it. Why am I not enough to build this business? What happens? How motivating is that question? Not motivating at all. And even if you read all this personal growth, it doesn't change the fact that you have that voice in your head that says you're not enough. So I shared a couple stories a minute ago about where my limiting questions came from, and there are more of them, right? Mine were, why is money so bad? And why am I not enough? What are yours? Type yes if you've ever said this to yourself. Why aren't I not enough? Why isn't my team doing anything? Why can't I get it right? Why don't people want to join me? Why do I always mess it up? Why is it so hard to lose weight? Why am I so fat? Why am I so ugly? Why do I never catch a break? Why is it so much easier for other people? Why is it so much easier for my upline? Will I always be this stuck? How many of you guys are mean to yourself on a regular basis like that? Doesn't feel very good, does it? And I bet when you look for red like that, you don't see any blue, do you? That it leads to a lot of pain, a lot of procrastination, and there you are looking at your life so frustrated with the results you're getting, and no matter how much someone tells you they believe in you, it doesn't change the fact that you have this voice in your head that says, you can't do this. Do you know what I'm talking about, or am I crazy? So when you set a goal, your dominant beliefs determine if that goal comes true. And setting goals is nothing more than the process of trying to create a new reality as opposed to your current reality. That's all goal setting is. The gap between where you are and where you want to be is whether you're looking for red or looking for blue. That's it. And until that language is consistently blue, you're going to find yourself stuck. And I know this because I lived it. I used to talk to Christina about this all the time. I lived it. And so let's use the example of why isn't my team growing? Ask yourself that question right now. Why isn't my team growing? Notice that your brain actually looks for an answer. Unless you've rewired it to look for blue, your brain looks for an answer. That's how insidious negative self-talk is. Something you need to understand is your entire life can be changed by asking more empowering questions. Your brain is a Google search engine. It will answer whatever you type into that search bar. So what if you intentionally type in something blue? Well, if you're going to get an answer anyways, you might as well intentionally ask it a question that's going to lead to a better life. When you say, why is it so hard to build my business? What does your brain do? It finds all the reasons why it's so hard, so you never find the solution to your biggest challenges. When you sit down to work, your brain is looking for every reason why you're not capable, so you don't invite the people you're meant to invite that day. You scroll Facebook and wonder why more people aren't coming to you. And here's what's crazy. There are amazing people and opportunities and blue that stumble across your life every single day. But because your software is running on why is it so hard, self-sabotage steps in. You won't even notice the incredible opportunities sitting right in front of you. You won't even notice that mom that's standing in the grocery store checkout line that has high cholesterol and you could save her life with Shakeology. You won't even notice her. You won't even notice that single dad that lives next door that has no idea how he's going to pay for his kid's college education, and you have his freedom trapped in your mouth right now. You won't even notice him because you're too focused on red. But let's try this. Why is it so easy to enroll 2 coaches this week? What happens? Or why is it so easy to build my business? Or why is this business so simple? What happens? You look for an answer, don't you? And even if you're brand new, you go, oh, I can ask John and Susie. That'll get me to Emerald. And I'll probably ask a few more people because I know that not everyone will say yes right away, right? I'm just making stuff up, but you get the point, right? Like you start to focus on the opportunities, the people you could reach out to, the sacrifices you can make to build your business, the solution, the blue, instead of the problem, the red. Can you imagine if you flood your mind with this every day? And here's the key. You don't need to have the answer. You don't need to know how you're going to do it. You just need to live in a question that leads you to the life that you want. Because when you're in the right state of mind and you know what you want and why you want it, the how will always reveal itself. I guarantee you, when Christina started this business, however many years ago it was, she had no idea how she was going to get to where she is now. No idea how, but she knew what she wanted, why she wanted it, and the how showed up, and she acted on it. So you don't need to know how. Live in an empowering question and you'll figure out how. Every problem you face is just an empowering question you haven't asked yourself yet. So your homework when we leave here in 20, 30 minutes is to write down all the negative crap you ask yourself on a regular basis. And guys, this is more than just Beachbody. This is your life. So all parts of life, your marriage, your finances, your Beachbody business, everything. Write down all the negative crap you ask yourself. Why am I so broke? Why is my business not growing? Why am I stuck? Why am I so fat? Whatever it is. Write all of those disempowering questions down, and your homework is to flip them to the empowering alternative. Instead of why am I so broke, it's why am I so wealthy? Instead of why is my business stuck, it's why is it so simple to build this business? Instead of why am I a bad leader, it's why am I more than enough to lead my team? Those are just some examples. But 2 questions that changed my entire life are why am I so kind to myself today? And why am I worthy of living an amazing life? Those 2 questions changed my life, and I still ask myself them every single day. Because guys, life gets 100% easier if you're 1% nicer to yourself. That's all you got to do. So write that one down. Life gets 100% easier if you are 1% nicer to yourself. And what I did, and my wife probably thought I was crazy, is I recorded these questions with passion, with excitement, with energy. And I listened to them on my phone while I slept at night. Disclaimer, don't choke yourself with a headphone cord. I would listen to them while I slept at night, while I was in the shower, when I walked the dog. I literally flooded my mind with blue, with what I wanted in the form of a question. Because I knew that if I looked for blue, what would I not see? Red. And if I didn't flood my mind with blue, what would I automatically find? I'd automatically find red, so I wanted to flood it with blue. And I would listen to this overnight while I slept. Like, how many of you guys, raise your hand or type yes if you are a parent? How many of you guys have kids? What would happen if you had an alarm that went off on your phone 5 minutes before your kids got up from a nap or got home from school that said, why is it so easy to be such a loving parent today? Could you imagine how their life would change forever? from one question because you wouldn't let the stress of the day affect how you talk to them. You'd be proactive in choosing your approach with your kids. Their confidence would change forever. It would affect who they meet, who they marry. It affects everything. Think of that relationship with you that's different. How many of you guys are in a relationship or married? What would happen if you had an alarm that went off on your phone 5 minutes before your spouse got home, or 5 minutes before they got home from work, or before you got home from the store, or whatever it is, that said, why is it so easy to fall in love with my spouse again today? Can you imagine the electricity in your marriage that would form? It'd be incredible. I ask myself this every single day, and it's amazing. Our relationship is exploding, and it's incredible, and yours can too. All you have to do, guys, is live in these questions. Your life will change if you do this. That's a promise. Is this one mindset strategy helpful? Think you can use this in your life and your business? Yeah, 2 more. Number 2, write this down. Your problem is not the problem. How you face your problem is the problem. Your problem is not the problem. How you face your problem is the problem. What does that mean? And this is where that stuck feeling is going to start to become more solved. So when you're so emotionally attached to a goal coming true, you actually push that goal away from you. Now, don't take this to mean that you shouldn't be excited or passionate or get your hopes up. You absolutely should. But what I mean is, when your happiness is dependent on a goal, you are pushing that goal away from you. You're making it harder to achieve. How many of you guys have found yourself pushing so hard for these big goals, and it's like it's evading you? It's like it's flirting with you in some way, like, hi, can't catch me, right? It's like just barely out of reach, and you don't know why. You know what I'm talking about, or am I crazy? It's because we have a mindset of this must happen, and then I can be happy. When you think that way, and you come up short, which, by the way, Christina, not if you've missed a goal or 2 in your day. You absolutely, if you think that way and you come up short, how do you feel? Horrible. Self-worth takes a hit. And there's all these stories playing in your head. And remember, whatever you repeat to yourself consistently, you believe. And it doesn't make sense, right? It leads to self-sabotage, getting into a slump. And even if you achieve success, you feel empty inside. How many of you guys have ever experienced that? You get to elite and go, well, now what? You get success club 10 and you go, is that it? You know what I'm talking about, or am I crazy, right? When you try to build a business that way, isn't it incredibly overwhelming and intense and stressful every day, even if you complete your to-do list? Like, how do you do it? It feels defeating. So you start to accept that that's how things are, and it's not. Remember, your challenges are just a blue question, not responsible for your emotional well-being. And huge important note here, and this is the overarching focus of everything that changed my life, everything that I teach in Appreciation Academy. Business success and money do not cause happiness unless you are already happy. Business success and money do not cause happiness unless you are already happy. Happiness is how you create success. It is the pathway to do it. Happiness and appreciation for the journey and the challenge is how you overcome the challenge. Most people don't get that. I didn't. It's why I stayed stuck for so many years. So what I used to do, and maybe this is you and you can relate, is I used to think I should be further along. I should be to elite by now. I should be to Success Club 10 by now. I should be at this income by now. And I was shooting all over myself. And I found myself just miserable, stuck, wishing I was further along. And what that basically meant was I wasn't grateful for where I was at. And if you're not grateful for where you're at, how the hell do you expect to create more? It doesn't make sense. Because you need to see the good in where you are if you ever want to create more. This is why Shaun T always talks about in his programs. Why would you hate your body now if it's the only vessel that will create the body that's less weight than it is? Right? He talks about how you need to love your body now. That's how you create the better body. Right? So seeing your current good is the fastest way to increase more good. When you can love your challenge, genuinely love your challenge in life, you stop pushing away the lesson. That's the key to your freedom. You stop pushing it away and you start to love where you're at. So seeing your current good is the fastest way to increase more good. Step into the common sense corner for a second. If you're God, the universe, whatever you choose to believe in, I'm not here to tell you what to believe. Whatever you believe is great. But if you're God, the universe, whatever you believe in, and you have person A and person B down on earth, right? On your creation. And person A is that person that focuses on red all the time. Why am I so stuck? Why can't I do this? And person B is that person that goes, you know what? I'm going through a divorce right now, and I'm so grateful because it brought me so much closer to my kids. So, and then there's that person that sees it raining outside, and they're grateful that their garden's going to grow. They're the person that's going through chemo right now, and they're grateful for the ability to fight for their life, right? All these amazing opportunities. That's blue, right? So if you're God, the universe, whatever you believe in, are you going to give more to the person complaining about less? Or are you going to give more to the person that loves everything they already have, including the challenges? Seeing your current good is how you increase more good. And what's so awesome about this one skill, guys, is it means you don't have to work nearly as hard for exponentially better results. I'm not saying don't work hard. I'm saying you don't have to death grip success anymore. Because instead of slamming down on that gas pedal to get to your destination as fast as possible, smoke's coming out your tires, and you're wondering, why aren't I there yet? And you see all these other cars flying by you, hitting diamond in a week, and you're going, what the hell am I doing wrong? You realize the only thing that's going on right now is that just that your emergency brake is on. That's it. You don't need to push down harder on the pedal of success. You need to release the brake on success. Most people will try to climb this big mountain of success saying, I'll be happy when I get to the top, right? Put your dream on top of a mountain for a second. The problem is that it's like trying to climb a mountain with a blindfold on. Because if you must get there now, you're going to step off the trail. You're not going to see where you're going. You're going to trip. You're going to fall. You're going to break an ankle. And even if you happen to stumble upon the top, you won't see any of the beauty around you that got you there. You won't see any of it. This is that person that hits elite and feels miserable. The person that hits premier and feels miserable. I was one of them. And you just go, what's going on? Why aren't I happy? But what would happen, guys? What would happen if you take that blindfold off and you just trust and have faith that this trail is leading you to the top? You become committed to the goal, super committed to it, absolutely excited about it, and committed to loving how you get there. How many of you guys have ever gone hiking out west? When you go hiking out west, it's just a straight shot to the top, right? Nope. It's twists and turns and ups and downs and peaks and valleys. And do you hate that climb when you're going downhill? No. So what if you just decide right now, today, to be committed to your dreams, but not have your happiness dependent on your dreams? And if you do this, if you decide, I'm going to do my vital behaviors for the person I become and the growth I experience, not just the results, how does that affect your entire business? How does it change your invites? Guys, people's bullshit meter is so high. They can tell when you're just copy and pasting. They can tell if it's not for real. They can tell if you don't have their interest in mind. So if you were committed to this goal and not death gripping need to get there now, wouldn't you have a more peaceful approach to your business? You're more calm, you're more happy, you're less hurt by challenges, you're having more fun. And if you lead a business that way, isn't it more attractive to others? Which means it makes your business grow faster. If you release that death grip on attachment, become committed, and if your objective is growth in the person you become, even if that hill is going down, even if a coach quits, you get a return order, you drop in rank, volume is lower, you learn something instead of hate something. And when you learn something, you get to the top so much quicker. Living this way will make success so much easier, guys. I'm telling you from personal experience, I tried to create success from the death grip place for years and it didn't work. The minute I decided to become committed instead of attached and love the person I was becoming along the way and love the feedback life was giving me, my life exploded beyond recognition. I never even knew it was possible and it shocked me. So like that feeling you have in your heart where it's forcing things, that's gonna go away. And you're going to become alive again. And your energy is going to become contagious again. That's when you get the messages, hey, what's this coaching thing you're doing? Hey, can I join that challenge group? That's when you get the messages, when you love where you're at now. So I can't get into the whole system of how to do that in 1 hour, but I have one final tip that makes getting to that state so much easier. You guys got time for one more? I promise it'll be worth it. Okay, so I call this, number 3, the secret sauce. The secret sauce, but you might know it as genuine gratitude. Genuine gratitude. Guys, I know some of you might have rolled your eyes when I said that, but gratitude is a success tool. Gratitude is a money tool. Gratitude is a business tool. Gratitude is a marriage tool. Gratitude is the biggest success tool you will ever come across. And the reason is because it's impossible to feel pain if you're grateful. You cannot feel resentment, anger, jealousy, depression, anxiety, any of it, if you are genuinely grateful. Because pain's coming, you're gonna feel that pain from a return order or whatever it is, even a death in the family, anything, pain is coming. But suffering from that pain is your choice. It's up to you and it's optional. Gratitude is how you don't suffer. This skill is how you shrink 2 weeks of bouncing back into 3 minutes. This is what's it's going to change your entire world if you implement the skill of gratitude. And by the way, I don't mean bullshit gratitude where you complain about life all day long and then jot down 3 things in a journal to feel better. That's not gratitude. Okay, and by the way, if you jot those things down in a journal and you actually feel them in your heart and you internalize it and you feel grateful for it, amazing, fantastic. But most people do it just to check something off the list. That's not gratitude. Gratitude is something you internalize and feel. Because remember, seeing your current good is the fastest way to increase more good. Seeing that blue is how you change your life. And some of the best ways, before I take you through a practice to get you there, one of the best ways to feel genuine gratitude is having some perspective. So think about this, like you're watching a video about mindset from anywhere in the world. You're probably in Florida or you're probably, in the UK or Canada or anywhere in the United States. You're probably on a safe couch or desk with a safe house or apartment with locks on your door, and you got a blanket on or a hoodie on that you earned for Hidden Success Club, or maybe you drive to a job where you earn a great income or supplement the income for your family. And most of you guys are going to turn on your Apple TV and watch the rerun of Game of Thrones finale or Marie Kondo's Tidying Up or whatever it is. And maybe you're wondering what you're going to have for date night on Friday or your next vacation. And most people will take that for granted. When someone's going to kill themselves in the next 7 minutes, just let that sink in for a second. Someone's going to end their own life in the next 7 minutes. When there's a mother out there who is going to lose a child today. When there are people out there injecting needles into their arms to cope with pain. When there are countries that live in communism. We're so accustomed to the miracles happening around us every day that we don't even see them as miracles anymore, and we see miracles as scarce and don't appreciate how literally everything around you was once an idea. This water bottle, this microphone, this computer, it was an idea. This team was once an idea that Becky and Christina had. 2 incredible women that just had an idea of that would be cool if. It was an idea. That's all it was, which proves that you can create miracles any moment you decide to. Any moment you decide to. We have the tendency to let go of gratitude and make it a rule that we can only be happy if something happens, if a goal happens or if someone acts a certain way. And just like we talked about a minute ago, that is setting you up to suffer. If you can take away anything from this entire talk, it's the following sentence. Put this in your notes, put this in bold, put this everywhere, live this, and your life will drastically change. Nothing needs to happen in order for you to be happy. Nothing needs to happen in order for you to be happy. And as long as you structure your life in a way where your happiness is dependent on something you don't control, you're never going to be fulfilled in the way you desire. Even if you have success, you could be winning at life and feel like you're losing because the scorecard you're using to measure success is unfair. It only allows you to feel happy if something happens. And achievement without gratitude for what got you there is total failure. You are breathing. You are alive. Isn't that enough to smile about? And if you're smiling, guess what? Business gets easier, a lot easier. You become magnetic. Like a lot of us have these expectations, right? Our spouse, our kids, our team, our volume, our sales. And when our life conditions, mean the way life is now, doesn't match up with how we think it should be, we get frustrated, right? frustrated. Like, we have these high expectations and we forget to appreciate what we want out of life. Or we forget to appreciate the life that we have. Like, we have these rules of what needs to happen before we can be successful. We gotta let that go. And gratitude is one of the skills to do that. Real gratitude, though, because your view of life literally determines your future. If you condition your mind to be grateful, it's like picturing a Shakeology cup that you just drank out of in the sink. Turn that water on, it's all mucky, right? It's all nasty. But what happens if that water keeps running through it? It eventually becomes clear water. That's what's going to happen to your life. You're talking to someone right now that went through a very long period of time in my life where I knew what I wanted so bad, but I'd keep having these bad days, like 4 days a week. And it was terrible. I was like, I pretended I had all this success, but I was living with this feeling of just being down and desperate and worthless. And I felt depressed. And how many of you guys can relate to this? Even worse than being depressed, I was pissed off at myself for being depressed. I was pissed off at myself for being less than I could be. I was pissed off at myself for settling when I knew I was meant for more. And I cared so much that I could change my life. And I had all the tools I needed to do it, but I just didn't care. But I cared so much. And from practicing what I teach in my course, I'll talk about in like 5 minutes, those feelings went away. It wasn't right away, but it was gradual. Instead of 4 times a week, it was once a week. Then it was once every 2 weeks, then once every month, 6 months, year. And now I am actually this annoyingly happy on a regular basis, and I don't need to fake it anymore. I'm actually this annoyingly happy. And yes, there are still days once in a blue moon where I get the whole depressed and down and useless feeling that day. Everybody does. But I can get out of it in 2-3 minutes using the skill of gratitude. I want to take you through something that I did not create. My mentor, Tony Robbins, created this. But it's a beautiful practice that can change your whole life if you apply it. I'm going to show you what real gratitude is and how you can solve or find direction to any challenge you're facing in your life or your business in 2-3 minutes. So for this last 5 minutes of the call, guys, get somewhere where you can allow yourself to feel totally vulnerable, totally emotional, and feel any emotion possible. If you know that from being on camera, you're not going to play all out, turn your camera off, just listen. Turn the chat box off, turn your phone on silent, get away from the kids, whatever you got to do, get there. And when you're getting there, start to think of something in your life that stresses you out on a scale of 1 to 10, like a 7 or higher. Just something that really stresses you out, that you don't know how to solve. Maybe it's money, maybe it's your business, maybe it's a conversation you need to have. What is it? Get to somewhere where you can solve that problem, and you're in a space where nothing's going to distract you from solving that problem. And think about that stressor for a second. Think about how it's pissing you off, you don't know where to go. And raise your hand if you have your stressor, by the way. Raise your hand if you have your stressor that's holding you back. Okay. Sit up nice and tall. Shake your body out and close your eyes. Sit up nice and tall, shake your body out and close your eyes. And just trust me on this. Take both your hands and physically put them on your heart and keep them there the whole time. Physically put your hands on your heart. And as you breathe, I want you to imagine breathing deep into your heart. So actually take a deep breath in through your heart and back out your mouth. Another one, big deep breath in through your heart and back out your mouth. Another one, big deep breath in through your heart and back out your mouth. And put all the focus and intention on your heart. Feel the beauty of it for a moment. Feel the strength of it, the gift of it. Think of what your heart has guided you to do or to be or to give or to share. You didn't have to buy this heart. You didn't have to earn it. It beats 100,000 times a day without you having to do anything for it. As long as it beats you, live. It's the greatest gift you have ever received in your life. So take a moment and just feel so grateful for the inherent worth that you have because this heart is beating in your chest. Appreciate it. Think of where your life is now because you have this gift, and take it in and appreciate it and love it and cherish this gift of life for just a moment and feel it. Take it in, and now go back to a memory in your life that you can feel unbelievably deep feelings of gratitude for. What's your favorite memory? Go back there, but don't see it from the outside. Relive it. Step back into that moment like you're there. Breathe the same way you did then. See what you saw then. Feel what you felt then now. Like it's happening all over again, feeling so grateful. Just cherish it. Just love it. Take it all in and know that you have this feeling within you whenever you want. And breathe that memory deep into your heart right now. Big, deep breath. Take it in. And now go to a second memory. What's another beautiful memory? Is it when you had your first baby? Is it when you said, I do? What's that moment for you? Step back into that memory like you're there. Relive it, first person, all over again, cherishing it, loving it, feeling it in your heart right now, reliving that gift, taking it in, and just cherishing that memory. And feel so grateful, so alive, so happy, and breathe that memory into your heart right now. And now go to a coincidence. What's something that just kind of happened? You didn't make it happen, but it happened and it led to something beautiful in your life, a person, a career, an insight, a life change. What's that coincidence for you? You were in line at Starbucks and you met the love of your life. You didn't mean to get pregnant. Now you have an amazing family. You got a message on Facebook. You're creating your dreams now because of it. What is that coincidence that led to something beautiful? And just take a moment and feel that in your heart. Was that actually a coincidence, or were you being guided? It's so beautiful when you realize that life is always happening for you and not to you. Even the problems, they're gifts because they lead to a more elevated version of you. So take that coincidence and breathe it into your heart right now. Feeling so grateful, so alive, so happy. And now feel this energy starting to like well up in you a little bit. See it just like the movies, like flash in front of you. Each memory again, feel that first memory, let it flash in front of you. That second memory, let it flash in front of you. That coincidence, let it flash in front of you. Feel the gratitude for your heart beating 100,000 times a day, even when you sleep. Take it all in. And now try to triple the amount of appreciation and love and gratitude and happiness that you have for this amazing gift of life. Feel it spreading in every single direction. Send it to the people that you love. They don't even need to know it. Just send it out in all directions from your heart right now, feeling so grateful, so alive, so happy, so appreciative, and just say thank you. Two of the most amazing words you can ever use to live an abundant life are the words thank you. And take it in, feeling so grateful, so appreciative, so alive, so you. And take that in. And now go back to that stressor that you totally forgot about, because it's impossible to feel pain if you're grateful. And take it in, breathing deep in your heart, feeling so grateful. And from this beautiful state, from your heart, not your head, from your heart, go back to that stressor and complete the following sentence in your own heart right now. In this stressful situation, all I need to remember is blank. In this stressful situation, all I need to do is blank. In this situation, all I need to say is blank. In this situation, all I need to let go of is blank. And feel that and ask your heart to complete that sentence. And when you found some sort of direction, go ahead and open your eyes. Come back on camera. How many of you felt something real from that? How many of you guys felt the power of that? How many of you guys solved a problem that you didn't know how to solve for weeks, months, days in 3 minutes using the skill of gratitude? Guys, you have one shot here. One shot at this life. And most people will go through life trying to stay safe, never going for it. You are not that person. What you just got to peek into is who you really are. That's the real you. That's the person that can dominate any situation in his or her life. And here's the thing, guys. Your life can change at any moment. You don't control the length of your life, but you do control its depth and its meaning. You were not put here to experience mediocrity. You're meant to feel fully alive every single second of every single day, and I can teach you how to do that. You're exactly where you need to be, guys. That you remember, it's not the outcome you're looking for. It's the journey you're on that's the answer right this second. And instead of just knowing that, all you need to do to radically change your whole world is make this part of who you are. And when you do, game over. Game over. Can you imagine how the world would change if this is how you lived? If you didn't need a team call to think this way, everything would be different. Your entire life would be so much easier. And if that's something, guys, that you truly feel could benefit your life, I'd love to take just 1 minute and share about an amazing opportunity for you to learn how to do it. Just real quick, there's no pressure here whatsoever. I'm not into that salesy shit. If you feel like that there's something real from this, Christina and I prepared an amazing opportunity for you to learn how to live this, to make this part of who you are. Guys, there is a reason success evades. There's a reason when you hit success, it feels empty. There's a reason that to-do list doesn't fulfill you. There's a reason the trainings on inviting and social media and all this stuff works for others, but it doesn't seem to work for you the same way. There's a reason why some days you're motivated and other days you can't get off the couch. It's limiting beliefs. It's lack of worth. It's all inner conflict that you need to learn how to resolve. Change your thinking, change your life doesn't need to be a cliche anymore. You can learn how to do that. I've created a course that will teach you how to break through all of it. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Beachbody coaches in this program. This teaches you how to attract success instead of repel it. And because your leader is amazing, we've arranged a 50% discount on this program for either the full pay or the payment plan option. And by the way, whether it's through me or through someone you trust more, if money is tight, that's exactly why you must invest in your personal growth. This is why you got to go to Summit. This is why you got to get there. And I promise you guys, and because I don't know you very well, that's why I've included a guarantee on this program as well. You guys know who Jen Richardson is? 15-star Diamond Coach, Million Club member. She says, and I quote, "Appreciation Academy is the missing link that every Beachbody coach needs to finally see success in their business." Micah Folsom, double 15-star Diamond Coach, Rockstar, says, and I quote, "If you're doing all the things and you're not having success, or even if you are successful and you feel empty, you absolutely must do this." I can go on and on with testimonials endorsed by the top leaders in Beachbody. I don't share this to impress you. I share it to impress upon you. It gets you unstuck. And it's not just your Beachbody business, guys. It's your life. It's marriage, business, bank account, happiness, stress level, everything. It rips away the layers of pain, preventing you from being the person you're meant to be. It's not a business training. That doesn't work until you master this, and especially this. So just like we talked about, guys, business and success do not create happiness. Happiness is how you create success. And this course teaches you how to be genuinely happy, where you don't have to fake it. It's 7 years of personal growth packed together so you can experience that feeling way sooner than I ever did. So if you felt something real, if you've been living in a memory that says you're not enough, it's time to stop believing in that, and I can teach you how to do it. If that's something you're interested in, head to bradbizjack.com/team call. Again, bradbizjack.com/team call. Christina's got the information she can share with you in your team page after this. But guys, thank you so much for the privilege of serving you today. Whether you decide Appreciation Academy is for you or not, it's just an honor to help in any way that I can. So thank you so much for having me, and I hope to see you in Appreciation Academy. And Christina, I will turn it back to you, my friend.
Oh my God, Brad, that was fantastic. Let me just say, I'm so proud of you. Yeah, I'm not going to ruin that call with any commentary. I love to do that. I love to ruin calls with commentary. I don't need to do that. But you guys, if you feel moved, compelled, obviously the information's right there, bradbizjack.com/team-call, so you can see what this is all about. I was moved today. In fact, have something going on this week that just helped me realize how to confront it and tackle it, and I feel at peace. I don't know if you guys felt that too, but that was awesome and exactly what we need at this very moment in all of our businesses. So you guys, I'm going to share this recording. I want everyone to please make sure that you pass this on to your teams, because if you're sitting on this call saying, wow, I needed that and that helped me so much, if you're not giving it away, you're holding yourself back and your team back. So share this recording, make sure they listen, and if they feel compelled to join Brad in Appreciation Academy, do it. Jim Rohn says, I love Jim Rohn too. He says the best investment you could ever make in your life is on your personal development. Not training on social media, not training on how to recruit. It's on your personal growth. And so with that, I'll leave you guys. Brad, thank you. Love you. And everybody, I will see you later. Bye.